Hey friend, I'm Robin May, and a few of the professional hats that I wear includes being a transformational speaker, a life coach, and a licensed therapist. And personally, well, I'm a wife, a mommy to three girls, and a pastor's wife, just to name a few. Girl, I'm over here doing all the things while trying to stay in shape and keep my skin clear. But the truth is, I don't want to be known for being busy. I think that's a scheme that somebody set up. No, I want to be known for living a life that is in perfect alignment with what God intended. And I want to help you do the same. So it's with that in mind, I'd like to welcome you right here to Intentional Conversations with Robin May and friends. Over here, we're creating a safe space to have real conversations with real women on real topics. This is a judgment-free zone where we can be vulnerable and honest and curious about our lives so that we can elevate not just what we do, but who we are. So if any of that resonates with you, again, welcome to our safe space. This is Intentional Conversations with Robin May and friends. Welcome to the season finale of Intentional Conversations with Robin May and friends. Y'all, this is our final episode for season 2, and I am so excited to be able to spend this time with you. If you are watching for the very first time or listening for the very first time, girl, you are still welcome. I don't know where you have been, but I am so glad you are here. There are so many episodes for you to catch up on, girl. You can go all the way back to season 1 and scroll through and find the titles that leap out to you. If you've been rocking with us for a while, I am super honored and excited that we have been on this journey together. Listen, I don't know what's up for season 3. I am definitely praying about it, but I did want to take some time as we close out season 2 in this episode. I thought it might be cool if I just do a recap of what we talked about all season. I can kind of share with you any additional thoughts that I've had. We're only going to be here. Let's see. We're going to be here about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay. Y'all hold me to that. If we are here longer than that, I owe y'all something. I don't know what it is, a discount on my store. So DM me and say, Robin, you said you would give us a discount. If I am here longer than 20 minutes, it's going to be between 15 and 20 minutes. Okay. All right. So again, if this is your first time here, welcome. If you've been here for a while, thank you. Please subscribe to the channel because while this is the end of season 2, we will still be dropping content here on the channel. Please share this episode and the channel with your family and friends. I am just passionate about helping women live life, to live intentionally, fully engaged. I've committed my personal and professional life to helping others elevate not just what they do, but who they are. And so you are a critical piece to that. All right. So season 2, y'all, season 2, we have had several topics and series. You know, the podcast normally leans itself toward series. I do series along the way, and then we'll have one-off episodes every once in a while. And so I'm pulling up the podcast right now on my favorite podcast app so that I can kind of tell you. We started season 2 at episode 26. We started season 2, episode 26, and we are ending season 2 at episode 44. So do the math real quick. What's that? 4 equals 30, 14, 18. I think that's 18 episodes for season 2. I cannot believe we've been rocking that long, 18 episodes. And I'm super excited that we have been rocking together for 44 episodes in all. So over the course of this season, we have done one, two, three, we've done 4 series, and this is probably this is our third one-off episode. So let's tell you the series we've done. We've done a series on dating, a series on mind your money, a series on mental health, and a series on marriage. And I wish I could see right behind the video because I have on the wall all the topics I wanted to cover this season, and we have covered them all. Let me look around the corner real quick. Yes, we have covered all of them. That makes me super excited. So let's go through these episodes we've talked about. We started the episode out on a series about dating. We called it Dating in These Streets. And you all, this episode was so interesting to me. As a matter of fact, At the end of the episode or the series, I had launched a revised version of my book, Before You Take His Name, A Christian Perspective to Saying I Do. You can still grab the book and you can click the link in my Instagram bio, or you can go to robinmayonline.com/book or books. I can't remember. Which one is it, y'all? robinmayonline.com/book. You know what? We're going to pause right here because I'm about to tell you what that title is. Give me what that website is. Give me one moment. robinmayonline.com/books. Grab your copy. And so, if I think back on this series, part of the reason why I wanted to do the series is because I am constantly helping women navigate dating, whether it's my personal friends who tell me I'm super hard on them or hard on guys, or whether it's my clients. And I often believe that married women sometimes can forget the struggle, if we even remember the struggle, because I have been married my whole life. That's what my friends say. Girl, you've been married your whole life. I am turning 50 this year and I have been married 22 years. So that's a significant period of time. And I am often reminded, Robin, you don't know nothing about these dating streets nowadays. Well, I don't know it personally, but I definitely know it in the trenches with those that I care deeply about. And so when I think about anything in addition that I would love to communicate to women, it's a couple of things. Number one, I don't know why this has come up so much lately, but I've been hearing women say this sentiment when they're dating somebody, they're in a relationship, the relationship, and it could be even marriage, but the relationship is challenging. I will hear women say, if he doesn't want me, just let me go. Didn't Fantasia have a song that says, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me? Wasn't that her song? Wasn't that her song? But I hear women say, if he doesn't want me, I wish he would just let me go. I wish he would just leave me alone. And y'all, that has really been standing out to me lately. Now, of course, women have said that for a long time, but it has really been standing out to me lately because y'all, and I want you to DM me if you've ever said it, but I think that's something we want to be careful about. Because when we are saying, if he doesn't want me, why don't he just let me go? Or why won't he just leave me alone? The truth is, you recognize for yourself that something isn't right. You recognize for yourself that the relationship isn't healthy. You recognize for yourself that there is something or some way that he is disconnected. And so when you say things like, if he would just let me go, sis, what you're doing is you're putting the ownership or the responsibility on him for the boundaries that you need to set for yourself. I didn't talk about this during the dating series. I don't know why it was so much for us to cover, but yeah, I really want you to think about that. If you are in a relationship, if you're in a dating relationship, or you're going back and forth with someone and you find yourself feeling like, I don't know why he just won't leave me alone if this isn't what he wants, why are you saying that? What is the message that you're really communicating? You are saying that clearly is something not aligned in this relationship, but I don't have the fill in the blank, the strength, the courage, the commitment, the capacity to cut it off myself. So I need him to do it. And you know what we say over and over again here, girl, no judgment. There is no judgment, but we just want to be honest and keep it real. You are responsible for setting the boundaries for yourself. Nobody else can set it for you. So if that thought is coming up for you, sis, what are you really communicating? That is something that I would want you to consider from this series. Okay. If you're just tuning in, remember, I'm going to go through every episode or every series that we had, and I'm going to give some additional takeaways, some things that I wish I'd said, or some things that I've continued to think about. So, in the dating series, that's one thing. Let me tell you the next thing. This is the question that I often have for um, for women who are dating. Is there a line in the sand for you when it comes to integrity? Let me tell you what I mean. Often we have this list of things that we want in a relationship. I want him to make this much money. I want him to be this height. I want him to drive this kind of car, whatever those things are. But I wonder, how much emphasis do you put on his integrity who he is? Is there a line in the sand for you as far as I am not okay with dating a man who is willing to do this or who behaves like this? I really want, as you're making a list and checking it twice, sis, I want you to really think about his character. Because the truth is, who he is what should matter, right? Who he is. Now, yes, we want him to be able to be independent. We want him to be not depending on what age you are. We're not just looking for potential, baby. I need you to be walking in some of this. But I want you to really think about his character. Who is he when nobody else is watching? What is the pattern of behavior you've seen over time? I want you to really make character a major focus when you're dating. And then the last thing is I want you to be okay with being honest about what matters most to you, right? So when we're thinking about dating, there are certain things that may matter to you. Like it may matter to you that he is a man of faith. And you could feel like, but where are they? I'm looking all over, couldn't find nobody. Where are the men of faith? Or you may say, I want him to care about children. Or you may say, I want him, it's very important to me that he is somebody who has maintained a healthy relationship with his family. I want you to really think about what matters most to you and don't second guess that. Because, sis, I have seen time and time again what we will do, what women will do is it starts getting too long and you've been in these single streets too long and you could find yourself compromising. And if I could go back and say anything in the dating series, it is don't compromise just because it's been a long time. What matters now warning. I don't want you to have a list of 20 things that matter most. I want you to just to dwindle that list down just a little bit. What are 3 or 4 things that really matter most to you? And I want you to lean in on those. So when I think about the dating series, I want you to grab the book before you take his name, A Christian Perspective to Saying I Do. Buy it as a gift for somebody. It doesn't even have to be that you're engaged. As a matter of fact, it's better when you are dating. It's better before you even have somebody, girl, because then this can help you know what to look out for. Get it as a gift, bless somebody with it. If you are married and you're listening to this, send it to your married girlfriend and say, honey, I just want you to read it. I wish I had read it. Go to robinmailline.com/books to grab that. After that series, we had a one-off episode. And in that one-off episode, the title was You Are the Bomb, but You Are Stuck. You are the bomb, but you are stuck. And y'all, when I think about that topic, I think so many of us can relate to it. In that topic, I walked you through an acronym, and the acronym was PACE. Now, I'm not going to tell you what PACE stands for because if you missed it, I want you to go back and listen to it. But PACE. And but when I think about the idea of you're the bomb, but you're stuck, it makes me think about the women's ministry at the church my husband and I lead. And the name of the church is Transforming Faith Church. But the women's ministry has been coined by me, Freed Women. Freed women. And why is that? Because I believe once you've gotten free in a certain area, you have an anointing, you have a calling, you have an obligation to help another sister get free. Why am I saying that on this topic? Well, I believe, y'all, that we're better together than apart. And often, sis, I may be stuck in an area that you've conquered before. And if you could help me, I could help you. None of us got to be stuck. And so I want you to take from that episode. I think I might have said this, but I want to reiterate it if I didn't, or say it for the first time if I didn't, or reiterate it if I did and say it for the first time if I didn't. I want you to find somebody in your life that you truly respect, where they are winning, where they are doing really good, and reach out to them and compliment them and tell them, listen, there might be something you can learn from me, but sis, I know I want to learn this from you. Y'all, I'm the girl who's going to say, I'm going to say, I am struggling over here, honey, and you don't seem to be struggling. Tell me what I need to know. So in that episode, that's what I would reiterate or say. Find somebody in your life that you can connect with because you may be stuck in an area and your girl is the very one who can help you get unstuck. All right, girl. So we did the series on dating, then we did that one-off episode where I walked you through the acronym PACE, and then we went into Mind Your Money, a series on money mindset, money, really money mindset, right? The Mind Your Money series. What are the three things I would want you to know from that series? Number one, I believe, and I was talking to one of my good girlfriends recently, and we were talking about the fact that working on your money mindset is an ongoing process. It is not an I arrived, I got it all together experience at all. Working on your money mindset is an ongoing process. And so I want you to do that work. I want you to continue to work on your money mindset, how you think about money, how you grew up understanding money and how that impacts you today. One of the things she and I, my girlfriend and I were talking about is how as believers sometimes we get so caught up in not wanting money to be the focal point that sometimes our resistance to it makes it a focal point, right? Money should not have a grip on us. And so I want you to work on your money mindset. The second thing I want you to do is get to the why of your money. As you're working on your money mindset, get to the why, the root of where it came from. Did it come from childhood? Did it come from some adult trauma? Because you can have an adult financial trauma. I want you to get to the why of how you move when it comes to money. And the third thing is just to find resources. I am listening to two books right now about money, and it's uncomfortable a little bit for me, but it's very illuminating and giving me a lot of ahas. And so I want you to find resources. And in that series, episode 35, my friend Robin gave us an incredible resource. She broke down freedom and gave us an acronym about financial freedom, but she also has an ebook that she gave us access to. So go to episode 35 to check that out. We're moving through. Okay. The next series, after we did the series on Mind Your Money, we did a series on mental health is wealth. And that's just really one thing I want you to take from that. Girl, find you a therapist. Honey, find you a therapist. Having a space to talk through, articulate, share. I was talking to a client just today and we've worked together for a long time. And so she shared something with me in the session that was very reflective of something she had shared with me a long time ago. And because we've had this history, we were able to get a breakthrough because I was able to connect it to something she had said before. Here's the thing, the beauty of having a safe space. Now, here's the deal, it doesn't have to be a therapist, it can be pastor, it can be in some ways a coach, just somebody who is a safe space for you to get it out of your head. I really want you to find your therapist. And so part of that is as you're articulating and saying it, you will hear yourself say things and that person can bounce off of you. And that's where your breakthrough can come from. So I really want you to find you a therapist. And speaking of breakthrough, every series or episode, there was some type of resource. And it was during this series that we talked about the launch of Bite-Sized Breakthroughs for Busy Women, which is still up and going. I want you to go to robinmayonline.com/breakthrough. For a very small monthly fee, you can have your own digital devotional. That's what I'm starting to call it, a digital devotional. Every single week, you get a 15-minute or less video of a topic, an idea, a principle, something that you can process, that you can get an aha, that you can get a breakthrough for that week, and you ponder on it for a week, and it really will help your mental health. And so consider checking out Bite-Sized Breakthroughs for Busy Women. There is one more thing I want to talk about on the series Mental Health is Wealth, and that is this. I truly believe, and I believe I said this during the series, there's a difference between having similar symptoms to a diagnosis and officially being diagnosed with something. I like to say we are all on the spectrum of something. So you may not be officially hitting all the criteria, but you could be on the spectrum for major depression. You could be on the spectrum for generalized anxiety. You could be on the spectrum for bipolar disorder. Don't let me get to personality disorders. You could be on the spectrum for narcissism. You could be on the spectrum for borderline personality disorder. You may not hit all the criteria to be able to be fully diagnosed. I'm going to see if I can remember what episode, because we did talk about this. Let me see if I can tell you the specific episode because that might be one you want to go back and check out. I believe it was I think it was episode 36. Episode 36 where we talked about this. Why is this important? Because I don't want us to continue to have the negative connotation around mental health or mental illness, because all of us are dealing with something. And the difference is whether or not you hit enough criteria to actually be diagnosed. So whether you're on the spectrum or you have an actual diagnosis, it is worth paying attention to your mental health. Then we moved from that series and we went to the I Believe in Marriage series. And I must admit, it was one of my favorite series. And if I had to identify two or three things that I would want you to take from that series, it would be this. Number one, don't do marriage in isolation. And the truth is, once you get married, it becomes a very personal experience. You don't want to you want to protect your marriage, which you need to, honey. You want to protect your husband. You don't want to put y'all's business on blast. But at the same time, you don't want to do marriage in isolation. You want to find a community of people or a couple of people who you're doing life with. And so the first thing I would say is don't do marriage in isolation. Find a community, find some couples, find a wife that you can navigate marriage with, somebody that you trust, somebody who has proven to be trustworthy, somebody who has the same mindset around marriage as you do, who has the same beliefs, but don't do it in isolation. The second thing that I would suggest is go beneath the surface, y'all. Often we're dealing with the mechanics of marriage, communication or trust, which is important, or um, I don't know, the nuances of our lives. But we're often not going beneath the surface. And most of the challenges we have in marriage, honey, that came from childhood. It came from his childhood, your childhood. It came from bad relationships in the past. It came from our mindset, our expectations around marriage. And so I want you to remember to go beneath the surface. Remember, we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. And so if you're having some challenges, I want you to go beneath the surface. And that takes me to number three. Girl, I need you to get a PhD in you. And I need you to get a PhD in your man. In Bite Size Breakthroughs for Busy Women, I have a whole transformational moment where we talk about why self awareness is so important. One of the reasons self awareness is so important, why you want to get a PhD in you, you want to know you, and you want to get a PhD in your man. Because, girl, you want to know what's my stuff and what's his. Some stuff that you're taking on from him, it ain't your stuff, honey. That's his childhood stuff. And some of the stuff you're projecting on him, it ain't him, sis. That's your stuff. So you want to get a PhD in you. What do I mean by that? You really want to know why you do what you do, why you show up the way you show up, why you respond the way you respond. That's why you could do bite-sized breakthroughs for busy women, plus the other resource that was birthed out of this series. And I'll tell you about that in a minute. And the other reason why you want to get a PhD in him is so that you can, again, get beneath the surface so that you can know what's really fueling, what's really pushing what is going on with him. And that can come through prayer and intentionality, turning your heart towards him. So number one, don't do marriage in isolation. Number two, go beneath the surface. And then number three, get a PhD in you and in your husband. That's what I would want to give you from that series. What resource came from this series? Well, the research that was birthed was the summer camp for Christian wives. And baby, when I tell you, I cannot tell you another something that I have birthed other than those three kids of mine. But y'all, this summer camp was my baby and I birthed it. And it is, I must say, it's incredible. And it is not just for the summer. This is now an official opportunity for wives to participate in what I'm calling the Wives Institute, honey. This is a deep dive into what it means to really protect and intercede and gain insight and wisdom as a wife. You don't want, if you are a wife, and you are not involved in the Wives Intensive, honey, you are missing out. It is your go-to resource, and I mean that. So for now, you can go to ibelieveinmarriage.com/summer camp, ibelieveinmarriage.com/summer camp. And even if you're watching this 6 months from now, still go to that link. And if it's a redirect, it will redirect you where you need to go. ibelieveinmarriage.com/summer camp. Then, right before this episode, we shared the 7 beliefs that purposeful and powerful women know. Girl, I walked you through 7 beliefs. And why was that important? Because often we're just doing life, just going through life blindly. And I want you to go through life with intention. And so in that episode, I walked you through 7 beliefs that impact purposeful and powerful women. If you missed that one, honey, it was a good episode. So make sure you go back and check it out and do your own work. Identify what beliefs do you agree with? What beliefs would you give pushback on? I really want you to lean into that episode. And so that has been season 2 of Intentional Conversations with Robin May and Friends. It has been my honor to be on this journey with you all over the course of these, what did we say, 18 or so episodes. I, again, am not sure what's going to happen with season 3. If you have some ideas, some things you want me to talk about, some ideas for the podcast in general, shoot them to me on DM. You can catch me on Instagram, Robin May online. Make sure you share with me. I would love to know any suggestions you may have. But for now, it has been so much fun being with you all for season 2. And until we come together again for another podcast, stay tuned to the channel for all the things that we have going on. It has been my pleasure, girl. I'm going to miss y'all, seeing y'all every week. Until next time, you stay focused. You make sure you stay intentional, and remember, you can elevate not just what you do, but who you are. I'll see you again soon. That's it. That's a wrap for season 2 of Intentional Conversations with Robin May and Friends. It is super, super exciting for me that we have been on this journey together for this season. How many episodes have we had? 20 or so episodes in season 2. Please stay in the loop with us. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, Robin May Online. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, Robin May Online. We still have so much we're going to be doing over this break. If you have an idea or something you want us to discuss in season 3, or a focus you want us to have in season 3, DM me. That's the quickest way for me to hear from you. Now, listen, there are 2 ways you can continue to invest in you. You can sign up for Bite-Sized Breakthroughs for Busy Women. That is a digital devotional where every single week I'm sharing an aha, a principle, a takeaway for you to sink your teeth in and meditate on for a week. Bite-Sized Breakthroughs for Busy Women. Go to robinmayonline.com/breakthrough. Or if you are a wife, a Christian wife, honey, you want to invest in your marriage. I want to spend 30 days with you. And you can do that with me by going to ibelieveinmarriage.com/summercamp. ibelieveinmarriage.com/summercamp, where we can get into the trenches together and truly understand what it means to be a godly wife. Until next time, I love you all. I'll see you in season 3. Talk to you soon.